On that defense, that is RIPZAP. Zap. Tanea is going to be playing that Symmetra. Manitin will be on a Widowmaker. Relay will play Reinhardt. Rye Fools will play Junkrat. Zapre will be playing...
Zapre the namesake of RIPZAP, too, in case you have any trouble keeping the... or, you know, differentiating the teams.
Right. He'll play McCree, and Aaron is for Mercy. I like how that was kind of said for the spectators, but it was generally just for me, in case you have trouble remembering which team is which. But yeah, that's our defense on Zap. Pretty standard. Pretty standard.
Looking here at the offense coming out from the side of other teams. They are the other team. It's going to be Harspem on the Zarya, FNC Drunks on the Widowmaker, Stoilish on the Hanzo, Relar on McCree, Happy Thermia, not Hypothermia, but Happy Thermia on the Reinhardt, and Boo on the Mercy. All right, so here goes the offense. The offense on the way. FNC Drunk going to be looking for those early picks here on Widowmaker. Going to have to get through Manitin first. We're going to see which Widow reigns supreme. And first thing that comes out to me, FNC Drunk is running on a really high sensitivity for Widow. This is a little bit, we'll see if it works out, but usually Widows run a little bit of a lower sensitivity.
Look, Tanaya chunked with Orb already has Teleporter up. That's insane.
Alrighty, yeah, that's a very quick teleport coming out here from the defense. Zapri right now holding things in on McCree. Tries to go for the flashbang or the shield, not able to get it. The offense doing a good job to get this far in, but they are starting to get picked over. Reinhardt ends up charging and gets viciously punished for it. And Zapri now in pursuit of this McCree, going to get it. Mercy coming in, Boo with the resurrection. The offense not out of this just yet.
Yeah, really nice res. They're extremely patient. Her and Zarya were just hanging out. They almost got flanked by a Sim, saw it come and drop down. Now they're back in this fight.
There's the FNZ Drunks here, moving in, looking for the pickoffs, not able to get it just yet. Switching back and forth as Widowmaker, and Zapri on the defense again with the double kill. Look at how stacked the defense is right now with ultimate techs. Even if the offense regroups, they're going to have to go through pretty much, literally everything as Symmetra has a teleporter up.
Yeah, and so I was totally right about Drunks, and it was because he used to play with Reunited in the very first days of Overwatch, because he played with them in Battlefield way back in the day. So yeah, there was I knew I recognized it.
We did have an Earthshot come down from a Relay here, does not get as much as he wants. Deadeye comes out, also doesn't get value. So defensive ult's a little bit wasted here. We're going to see instead a Deadeye come out from Relod. Also gets taken out by the Mercy. You don't usually see that happen, but Mercy Pistol holding things down here for RIPZAP. And I gotta say, RIPZAP looking pretty good here thus far.
Yeah, definitely defense has been holding strong. That Telly is great on the reinforcements. Aaron's been playing very safe, getting a decent, 1v1s in the sniper battle. We'll see what happens after this Graviton. They don't necessarily have the greatest follow-up, no barrage or false bomb, things like that. But I'm a big fan of just letting Reinhardt start swinging his hammer as a follow-up. You give him the allied shield, and then let him go to town.
We just had the shot come down from Happy, but Happy was not able to hit anything. Totally negated by the other Reinhardt shield. And I gotta say, Zapre has been the heart of the defensive RIPZAP right now. Maybe that's why he's the namesake, but he takes out Rella. Can go over the top here for a Deadeye if he wants. Laying some shots in the move. And really not a bad look here from RIPZAP thus far, as they are on the verge. 2 minutes away from a full hold here on Pollywood Point A.
Yeah, and it's been a very solid. I mean, there's just been no flaws in this defense. The early resurrection was the best shot that they had at it, but even then, it just kind of got cleaned up. There's too much reinforcement potential here. At some point, you have to wonder if they'd be better off sending a flank.
Graviton Surge coming in, pulls two people, and not the highest value of Graviton. Meanwhile, Zapre in the back, able to take out Happy Thermia. Again, doing work, has a Deadeye up, going to get another 2 kills. Zapre, as McCree, has absolutely been the heart of the RIPZAP defense here thus far.
Just been no follow-up for that Graviton, and like you said, Zapre is going nuts.
Look at this tire. This tire goes into the spawn. Tire coming a little bit late out from Rifles, but you know what? They won the team fight. Wasn't really needed. No harm, no foul. As RIPZAP now a minute 30 away from full hold here when he's winner's semifinals.
I was thinking maybe just run a flanker to take on this teleporter, but it's not like they even need the teleporter. None of them are dying.
Yeah, no, I mean, they still have to worry about the teleport. It needs to go down. Relay coming in, finally coming alive as McCree gets the double kill. We'll see if this is enough, but no, Manitin gonna take him out. Resurrection coming up from the defense. And RIPZAP is just perfectly positioned right now. I gotta say, other team not really getting it done here thus far. But look at this, just as I say that, it's turning around the other way. Happy Thermia able to take down the Widow in the back, gets a double kill as Reinhardt. Finally, the break that other team needs. Commentator's Curse coming in strong. Look at Mercy, though, buying time with the pistol on top of the point. Bought enough time for Reinhardt to get more on the point here. They still have yet to capture a third. Relay going in, buying time here as the rest of the team is about to get back in. We'll see if it's enough. 5 people on top of the point. A lot of...
Yeah, this is over.
This not back here just yet.
Junkrat needs to bail out there. I didn't mind the Reinhardt there at the end. It was on the verge of, like, should he be in there, should he not be? But it's fine. He'll be up back with his team by the time they need him. Still, though, knowing that they'd lost that point for the last 20 or so seconds, they are actually trying to get rooftop now, which is the smart thing. McCree and Mercy have taken the elevator up top. Widow joins them on the distant roof. And now, Drunk has to be very careful. He is outgunned on the rooftops here. Does not want to give his life away early on as Widow.
Alright, so we see Zap right here over the top looking for some pickoffs. Bit of a disappointment for RIPZAP. They could have stopped this in its tracks early on. Now they have to defend the Streets phase. I do like the positioning here in the Streets phase. It's more of a standard defense that we've seen. They're behind the Reinhardt on top. They're controlling the rooftops, which is a huge pain for an attacking team.
Yeah, and they've transitioned not at all, and I think it's luck because they didn't die on offense, so they don't want to give up the ultimates that they have. We might transition after this. Huge fight coming in.
Oh, Grouton is out here with the Deadeye, but no, the Earth Shadow stops the Deadeye from killing the entire team as other team gets a quad kill. Other team able to deal with that defensive push very well. Mercy Resurrection, though, coming in, resurrecting almost the entirety of the team. There's a good res coming in from Aaron. We'll see if it's enough. The offense, though, in a good spot here. Happy Thermia charging in the relay. Zapri and Maniton, though, starting to bring it back off of that Mercy res. So, Maniton really coming in, has a double kill, looking for more. I mean, back and forth from both teams, and the defense might actually just hold here after all.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine because they cleaned it up after the res, and Maniton actually went nuts and actually held that. But that was just really impatient. They're below on the cart. You have the high ground. They're not even going to challenge your high ground. Get some picks from up top. They can't do almost anything against you. They don't even have the hero composition to do so. I don't know why they wanted to force the fight there. Maybe they just felt they were the superior team and could res out of it, but it was a risk they didn't need to take. You could have gotten 3 kills on that high ground without jumping off the ledge.
All right, so see Relay here over the top does have an Earth Shatter at the ready. Could just drop down and use it. Has to worry about the other Reinhardt shield, but definitely good position. Does land the Fire Strike as Maniton and takes out the Winston. This is now 65. The defense can be really aggro on this if they want. And there he is. He's coming down. He's looking for the Earth Shatter. Can't drop it while the shield is protected. The shield will stop it. Happy Thermia charging in, but Soundbearer helping Relay stay alive here. Might not even need the Earth Shatter in the end as Maniton going crazy on top picks up the double kill.
Okay, so what's the problem? It's the Widow. How do we solve the problem? You
gotta counter the Widow with another Widow, and FNC Drunk hasn't really been getting much done here. And I'll be honest, looking at the first-person VODs, I think his sensitivity might just be a little bit too high. It's when going against other Widows, if you're jerking around that much, it's very difficult to land the shots you can do. Not impossible, but you're setting yourself up. So I'm looking at Drunk here from this point of view. I want him to prove me wrong via Commentator's Curse, but find out here in just a moment.
Well,
Recon sight is going up. He's going to get some pickoffs. If he's going to deal with the other Widow, he's going to have to do it now.
He's got Walker, so I think they're trying to crack his shield. He's had a really hard time.
He takes out Zapray, so that is a big pickoff. Good first pickoff from Drunks. Can he keep it going? Moving in over the top, looking for more. Goes for the grapple shot.
Meanwhile, the cart.
Cart is moving pretty heavily. But you see the Earthshard come in. I don't think that Earthshard did too much.
I got 2
there as much as they would have liked. Offense hanging through there, even after the Earthshard's Hypothermia on the cart. They're moving it forward. The defense being a little bit sluggish here and sort of just streaming in kills.
Yeah, Maniton goes down 2, and he's been carrying for them. Harps and finally woke up and is going nuts before he's taken down by his opposing number.
Look at Zapri, though. Zapri in the back has the Deadeye up. Could be using it in a second. Gonna be risky, though, with everyone looking at him. And no, he's gonna get taken out in the end.
Yeah, so taking
and
out
other
Zapri.
teams staying alive. They're able to get to the next checkpoint. Sort of history repeating itself here for RIPZAP, where they had a good defense for a while, were able to hold almost to the point of a full hold, and then other team coming alive at the last moment.
Drunk was
Maniton now switching off the Widow to a second free.
Drunk was very aggressive in there. I wonder if he's kind of planning a switch too, because he was very far up as Widow, but he wasn't even looking for headshots. He was just machine gunning it. He is staying on the Widow for now. I love offensive Widow on this last point. You kind of just hide behind these boxes and get just free picks on people for days.
Yeah, no, offensive Widow, I mean, it's really, really great. We've seen teams use it to great effect here on Hollywood before. But you have a Winston really far out here. I think Hairspin, a little bit discoordinated from the rest of the team. Rella, though, able to take out a defensive Winston, so sort of back and forth here. But now the defense has an advantage. They can push in, and that's exactly what they're doing. Maniton in the back, looking for this pickup on Mercy, will get it, and the defense just cruising in, going to wipe out other team, and now they only have to hold for about another minute to get this full hold.
Well, the one thing, though, is that they know the Resurrection has been used. They're going to have a very, very small window because Resurrection charges so fast where they have it, the offense, and the other team does not. So they might try to use that to their advantage right now. But with
Aaron's
Resurrection...
already at 64% though, so if there is a small window, it's so incredibly small. Resurrection, one of the quickest charging ults in the game. But here we go, the offense is in, Primal Rage is out. They're looking to get anything they can get here. Rela with the Deadeye doesn't get anything from it. In the back though, is going to right-click down a Winston. But look at the McCrees from the defense. Zapray and Manitin going absolutely crazy, picking up 3 kills between the two of them. And now they only need a little bit more to potentially put the dagger in this game. Here we have Manitin in the back looking for a few extra kills. Rifles as Winston backing 2 kills, and this should be it. If they can just stop him from touching the cart, we won't even go into overtime, and this will be a full hold coming out from the side of RIPZAP. Hang on though, 3 seconds remaining. Rela getting on there, Soul McCree, but no, he's not able to touch it in time. Winston leaping in though, and a little bit of life is in it here for other team. They've done this multiple times here before in this game, and they do it for a 3rd time. Happy Thermia coming in, takes out Zapray. Hex, it could be happening again.
Yeah, they're definitely turning this around, and now the
3
defense...
kills for the offense. I don't know if it's nerves or what, but RIPZAP definitely having trouble closing things out. We do have a Resurrection coming up from the defense. We'll see if this is enough. Manitin, in fact, on the defensive Tracer now, going to take out Rela. And the defense starting to stabilize a little bit, but they need more. Rela now looking for the kill on Lucio. Not stabilizing enough. Happy Thermia just going crazy with the last few picks. And is this going to happen? Are they going to cap this out?
There's another huge Earthshatter on the cart, clearing it out. There goes Rules down.
Yep, they only need to bring it a little bit forward. Zapray gang on top of the point. This is do or die now for the defense. The defense looking like they're about to have it for the 3rd time this game. Having trouble. A gigantic Earthshatter though from Relay. Knocks down 3 people. Goes in. Manitin with the pulse bomb. Gets a double kill. The offense is still on top of it. Happy Thermia on top of the point. Diva now trying to stall it out as Winston goes in. Really could go either way. The offense still with a little bit more of an advantage here. Tracers are out. Divas are out.
Sound barriers.
And the kill is going in favor of the offense here. And this is... At this point, if they don't get this, I would almost call this choking by the point of RIPZAP, given that it's happened 3 times in the same game. It's good play by the offense, but they've had 3 opportunities for a closeout here on the defense.
Primal Rage. Got it.
Rage buying time, and there it is. Other team going to finish out the map after an exceptionally long time. Being good on other team, but I feel like RIPZAP definitely let them off the hook a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they panicked every time they could closed it out. They failed to do so.
Till Valhalla.
This, of course, was a big resurrection for the defense here. Led to a very good hold, but in the end, RIPZAP not able to keep the defense fully together. But time-wise, they only have to beat a time of 11:34 to win map 1. That is an incredibly beatable time.
Right. No, that was the resurrection that came after the fight that I thought they didn't have to take, and it was a fight where 5 of them died, and they didn't have to take. So, yes, the resurrection got play of the game. I thought it was a mistake by the team overall, but, you know, the defense... I think they just got a little jumpy here and there, and then when they started losing, they panicked a little bit, and they would trickle in, especially towards the end when it looked like they were turning around. You said it looks like they're turning around. Well, then the Winston jumped in alone and died immediately, and then they trickle another death and another death. They never coordinated again, and it's something that you see from some teams is, what do you do when things start going wrong? Can you keep your composure to play the way that you know you need to play, or do you just start going into hero mode and losing the game for your team? 11:34 is extremely beatable, and yeah, see what Zap can do here.
Yeah, and this is where RIPZAP, I mean, all they have to do is keep a decent offensive momentum. In fact, most completions will be just an outright win here, given the fact that the offensive other team needed overtime to even finish out the map. So really, all the time in the world available to RIPZAP here. They don't even need to be blazingly fast. They just need to set a good pace and not have it go all the way to overtime, and they will win this map with ease. Yep. Looking at the defense, though, coming out from the side of the other team, it's going to be FNC Drunks on the Widowmaker, Hairspin, and Happy Thermia on... We'll see if it's a pair of Lucy. I think Hairspin's going to switch. And there he is, he's going to switch. Double Lucy on defense, you always have to be suspicious of, because usually people just like... boosting out their Reinhardt. So Hairspin and Happy Thermia both switching. Gonna be Hairspin on the Junkrat, Rela on the McCree, Happy Thermia on the Reinhardt, Moo on Symmetra, and Stoilish rounding things out here on the Mercy.
Yeah, offensively, you know, I don't even think this is needs to be tabled at all, as this might be what they're running. This is probably what they're running. Relay will be on Ryan. They got a couple of Cowboys and Rifles and Prey. Aaron will be on the Mercy. Maniton will be on Widowmaker. And then always popping a Lucio, and that's Tenia.
As there we go. Again, lots of time here for RIPZAP as they move forward. We'll see just what time they set, but the clock is underway. And here comes the offense. Maniton gonna be, again, repping that offensive Widowmaker.
Yeah, some interesting sentry placement here on the defensive Symmetra. They're all in the arch, and they're all just going to bypass it.
Yeah, they're just moving in. Maniton was able to get that very quick pick onto the defensive Widow. It's a 65. Hairspin, though, good Junkrat pressure there. Does take out the Widow. Still, though, the offense getting right on top of the point with incredible haste. See if this defensive Junkrat can do anything about it, but not a bad look here from RIPZAP here thus far as they move in. Hairspin with a double kill so far, so they got to deal with this Junkrat. No one's really paying attention to him. He's moving in. He's effectively gotten 3 kills here, looking for the 4th. Hairspin definitely getting some work done.
Guys, Zafray brings back those. Zafray gets a couple kills, and he's just alone hanging out on the cart, putting some time on, and more importantly, creating space for his team to come in unmolested.
Yeah, I mean, he was making space, but eventually he's taken out. FNC Drunk able to get in, get some good cleanup. Oz Widowmaker getting both McCrees down. And really, I think that was sort of, it was won by Hairspin on the Junkrat side, but it was also sort of the offense not paying attention to him. The McCrees definitely could have punished him way earlier.
Yeah, Relay jumped in to try to take out the Symmetra turrets and effectively gave her a teleporter just by eating so much damage. Do not try to clear sentry turrets as Reinhardt.
Alright, so we see Maniton able to get 1 pick, looking for more. 2 defensive kills here coming out, and here comes the Junkrat tire, moving in. It might even get a double kill here, and it's going to take out at least Zapray. Not a bad pick up at all. Junkrat will go down, though, as he was controlling that tire. As Rel again take out Rifles, so again, not a bad look here at all from the side of other team. They're holding on firm, and even though you look at it, the offensive RIPZAP has a lot of time. That's only if they're able to get the cart moving. If the 3 minutes pass and they haven't gone on to this point, that's it. They don't get any extra time. They will lose this map outright.
Yeah, everyone just ate a big fire strike, though, so that is going to help Relay. He does have his ultimate ready now. A couple nice ultimates to work with on offense, and Rifles almost has his too. They could stagger some high noons here.
That's a Relay here. Again, move in. Again, look for an Earth Shatter here in just a moment. I think he's waiting for the rest of his team to group up, looking for some sort of opportunity if they can get it. And you see this all the times where teams will be a little bit tentative on Hollywood, not wanting to go in directly. They do tend to have patience on the positioning, but here we go. Offensive Sound Bearer's out. Reinhardt wasn't able to get it. Everyone else on the team got it. As Maniton got the Widow pick. This is a big opportunity here for the offense. And Zapray picks up the double kill with Deadeye. Makes it triple with a little bit of follow-up. And Earthshock coming down, laying the fight. Going to hit those newly res people. Will it be enough? Swing the hammer as Reinhardt makes it.
Transitions coming out from either side. No Winston's on the field. Here's a tire coming in. It's been spotted, though, so... Well, still gets the sniper.
It takes out Maniton.
Yeah, it's huge.
Taking out the Widow. Nets doesn't want to stream in. They just need to get on the rooftop and help defend. They don't want to give the offense free reign of the rooftops, because that is very, very bad. The defense needs to buy time here in the second part of Hollywood.
Yeah, oddly enough, no real transitions coming out from either side. No Winston's on the field. Here's a tire coming in. It's been spotted, though, so... Well, still gets the sniper.
It takes out Maniton.
Yeah, it's huge.
Taking out the Widow, never a bad thing here, and Hairspin getting some really good poke in his Junkrat. Junkrat, oftentimes a feast or famine hero, but definitely feasting a bit here. Hairspin's been having a decent game, dropping the poke in, and really actually causing the offense to split up instead of being on the payload, so they need to do something about this Junkrat. I think Widow is the answer when Widow gets back. We'll see if she can get that pick off.
Yeah, if the offense continues to stall out here, I don't love their position. I would not mind seeing Winston's come here. Drunk going absolutely ham, 3 kills in a row.
And look at this, Maniton trying to get over, getting stymied by the Reinhardt, having to go through the bomb. This isn't really where you want to go as Widow. It's not a great position. They're still moving the cart regardless, though. Getting snipes in on Reinhardt from the back, so a little bit of weirdness coming out here with the defense. And look at this, Maniton coming in over the top, looking for the snipes, looking again. The Junkrat will take out the Junkrat, and now has his free reign at the top. Good position here from Maniton as he picks up the double.
No one can hide from my sight.
Yeah, now he's got his wall hacks up. facing a bit of a sniper battle, but he is all alone. The cart is slowed down a little bit. Again, they do switch in. This is nice. I like to see the switches coming in. They bring in a Genji and they bring in a Winston. They really want to establish high ground dominance.
And Genji, I mean, given how people tend to get narrowed in here on this Hollywood point, Dragon Blade can be a huge boom, but look at that. The tire coming in over the top helps take out the Reinhardt. Drunk able to win the Widow duel, and the defense fighting right back with 3 quick kills, and this is going to let them be more aggressive and push the offense out.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the transitions on offense. I don't think they've really had a chance yet to fully rock that transitional composition to its full potential yet. So we'll see if they do really start initiating with Rai, and if there's any follow-up with Genji up top, or if they're just going to try to slow push on the low ground again.
All right, so they're over the top. They're going to be looking to drop in an Earth Shatter here in a moment. The defense has a lot of tools at their disposal. We'll see if they can use them. Good opportunity for Reinhardt, but Junkrat could go down immediately. So this is now a 6v5 in favor of the offense. The offense can be a little bit more aggressive as a result. Manitin looking to snowball on, looking for that extra pick. Still, Reinhardt shield giving him a bit of trouble. One of the better counters against Widowmaker if you can hide behind it.
Yeah, they've just decided they're not taking the fight to him. I think what Rai is waiting for, too, is if they do drop down, he's going to be going right up. There it is.
Yep, he's dropping down. They're looking for what they get here. Look at Hairspin on the 76, has 1 kill. Looking for more. Just laying in the shots into the Genji. Gonna take him out. And the defense, they dropped down at the right time, and they wiped out most of the offense here. There is a Resurrection, though, coming in. The offense not done just yet. Sound Barrier is out. Still down several people, but here comes the Dragon Blade. Zapray in the back, looking to slice down this Mercy. Will get that Mercy kill.
Yeah, that should be
on
enough.
a double kill effectively, or make it a triple into the back, and the Resurrection Dragon Blade combo doing all sorts of work, even adds in a deflect kill for good measure.
Yeah, I mean,
good play by Zapray.
That's beautiful, and DPS should get some love. They get plenty of it, we know, but let's talk about that Resurrection into Sound Barrier. It puts your team at such a great advantage. We were dead, now we're alive, and we have twice the health that we should. And they absolutely rolled off it. Yes, the Dragon Blade was great, but if they're not alive to do that, then nothing matters anyway. They also have a couple tank ultimates here, too.
Defense now looking to reset up. They don't have to defend for that much longer. Time-wise, 3:30 on the in-game clock. A lot of what's on there right now is simply overtime. That's up there, so realistically, the in-game clock a little bit more relevant here for the defense. 3 minutes. Still defendable, but they're going to need to get some big wipes here. And a big Earth Shatter comes down, knocks down 3 people. Happy Thermia coming in. Not able to get as much off of that as he would have liked. As Manitin in the back gets a double kill. Will eventually get counter-sniped, but the offense doing some work. Drunk really one of the only people in the back able to get some things done as Widow, but the rest of his team is dead, and the offense is moving forward.
Yeah, Wallhack's about to be up. Defense does have a Resurrection to work with, though, so if they can stall out, Resurrection's going to help them sell it for an extremely long time.
Yeah, the Dragon Blade coming Zapray. The Resurrection won't be coming up for the defense because Mercy is dead. Resurrection, though, will be coming up here for the offense. Aaron has it at his command. We'll see if he brings Genji back up into the battle. He's the only one down right now. Lucio going down as well. And Resurrection being safe, so Genji going all the way back to his base. Earth Shatter getting used by the offense. Helping to get a double kill there. Didn't look like it did as much, but defensive res is up, and we'll see if the offense can keep momentum forward.
Relay had no business even being alive before he hit that Earth Shatter. Turned it into a combined 3K with his tank buddy. He was 1v4 for a solid 20 seconds and somehow lived through it.
All right, so we see Manitin here able to take out the Winston. Manitin really still a threat here in the back. If they can get rid of this Reinhardt, he will be able to pick apart the defense in short order. Recon site coming up. The offense, again, being highly aggressive. They do have a player advantage right now. If Manitin can just get these shots, he's looking for them right now. Gets a shot into Lucio, looking for the other Widow. Not able to get either just yet, even though he's getting damage. Rifles takes out the Mercy, for which he helped a lot, but look at that Earthshatter. Knocks down 3 people. Happy Thermia going in. Rella with the backup. And the defense really stymieing the offense here off of that Earthshatter.
Yeah, I mean, Relay had his just about up too, but he got beat to the punch by his opposing tank, and that's a really nice hold by the defense. I think it's smart too that, like, when people come in, the tanks are kind of ignoring it, and they're just going to the back line. They know that the sniper's giving them problems. Send their Reinhardt back there, the Winston follows it up, and they're able to deal with that back line extremely effectively.
Yep, so here we go. Drunk in the back looking for those pickoffs, having himself a better game here on the defense they had on the attack. But the deflect coming out from Zapray. Zapray barely saving his life. Dragon Blade on the way in, slicing and dicing. Has to deal with the defensive sound barrier, though. It's really going to put a damper on his plans here. Might kill the Widow anyways. Gets the Widow, looking for more. Ends up getting a double kill nonetheless, so the offense still with a good bit of momentum here. Gets the offensive resurrection, and now the defense, they're going to have to blow res here soon, or it might be GG as the offense is absolutely swarming the payload. Kill feed going in their way.
Yeah, Stoilish.
And if it caps right now, this will be GG in favor of RIPZAP.
Stoilish
and there it is,
played
RIPZAP
it
going to take
a
map
little
1.
scared. He was up, he had resurrection, but he knew he was going to be walking through a Widow's sightline. Thought maybe he could wait long enough and go in with his tank to try to bring people back, but that was not the case. He had it, he kind of had to go for it there, but was a little afraid of the Widow.
Yeah, so there you have it. RIPZAP going to be the victors here of map number 1. And there'll be other teams' choices where we go to next.
All right. It is kind of funny to say it to be the other team's choice. That's just their name. Just the other team. Much like the other guys of Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg classic. So I think we'll just ask them in chat where we're going next. What's it down to? We had Hollywood, Kings, and what else?
I think it was in Numbani, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. I feel like Numbani was in the list, but I might be wrong.
Oh wait, I have it open. It's Gibraltar, Kings.
It's Gibraltar, okay. I am wrong.
Yeah, Gibraltar. I think Dorado got banned first there. Dorado, Kings. Yeah, I think it's Gibraltar or Kings. Yeah. All right, so we're just waiting briefly, I think.
So we're just dealing some lobby-related stuff real quick here. That's the furious typing, but we'll be ready to go in just a moment.
Well, you know, stuff happens. Not super worried about it. It's going pretty good today. We're just waiting momentarily. I think someone had to use the restroom. Bathroom break, of course, being a moment of content. And yeah. So I'm going to look at the bracket here. I'm going to make sure that everything is going according to plan. Our plan is to take the next game of 425 in the also semis, and then we'll go to our losers bracket final, likely, or semifinal or final, whatever's up, and then we'll be going to grand finals. So a couple more hours of Overwatch open for you ready today. And we're just
it's nice to get these open tournaments like this in. I mean, definitely cool seeing new teams in the scene and all the rest. See who will rise above the rest and start challenging the top teams as time goes on.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. You got to practice somewhere. And even if you know, you scrim and everything like that, it's not exactly the same as playing in a tournament setting where you have to play for 6 hours straight and you have to play different teams. You have to adjust. You have to figure out maps. And really, there's no shortcuts in anything in life. You just have to practice and put in the time. No one got better by not practicing.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. I mean, one thing we talked a lot about Overwatch, especially in Beta 1 into Beta 2, is how teams can level up. So you might see a team, you know, in an open tournament this week that doesn't look all that great, but give them a few weeks of play and they can come out and be absolutely devastating. So we will be going into the 425 ROP match after this game and the winners. Meanwhile, take a look. The losers bracket, of course, going forward. Pret's still alive. They got passed through THTM. Definitely cool to watch them because they were one of the teams we were looking at early on. They're going to have to get through Unnights. And things definitely shaping up as the day goes on.
Yeah, Ghost has to go through down the bottom bracket too. Yeah, so I think the plan is, tentatively, we're going to finish out this set, and then we'll take you to the other winners bracket set. So that will, you know, figure out our winners final. And then we'll probably cover the losers bracket final, or yeah, maybe winners final, and then losers bracket final, and then grand final, something like that.
Something
I don't know. I'm not an admin, clearly, for so many good reasons.
All right, so we are getting in, not wasting any time. Again, this is going to be other team versus RIPZAP. RIPZAP winning map 1, although it was a pretty close map 1. You look at how long the teams defended. RIPZAP definitely had a little bit of an edge, but other team made them work for it. So definitely curious to see what's going to happen here on Gibraltar, map number 2.
Yeah, definitely closer than some of our earlier games, and I thought that's how the day would go through as we moved on and got through the games. that teams would get closer and as they filtered through, and that's definitely what we've seen. So I'd say it's going to be pretty close. And, you know, even though earlier in the day we didn't necessarily see a ton of Widows, these two teams have shown that they like running Widows, and considering we're at Watch Point Gibraltar, I imagine we will see some Widow play. Really had a good game as it went on. Reinhardt play is, you know, sometimes a lot of people can miss good Reinhardt play, but he was just really smart in when he was using his shield. There was one fight that he got in that I thought, well, he's dead. There's no way he's getting out of that. Used his positioning in there, got the shield up and down, got smart fire strikes. So some nice Reinhardt play out of him. The Earth Shatters last game were great on both ends too. So looking forward to see more Reins. We'll see how it goes on the defense here. Defense.
Well, speaking of the defense, looking at the defense of RIPZAP as it goes out, we're going to have Tenya on the Symmetra, Aaron on the Mercy, Rifles on 76, Zapray, the team's namesake, on McCree, Relay on the Reinhardt, and Manitin, who's had a pretty good Widow day here thus far, on Widowmaker.
Yeah, the other team, to no surprise, looks like they're going to be running double Winston, which is pretty much necessary and standard on Gibraltar. Rella will be running the McCree, Stoilish will be on Lucio, and Drunks will be on Widowmaker. Moo, of course, backing it all up with a Mercy. For now, Stoilish switched to a Hanzo. I bet you that's just for early on stuff. Shenanigans, they will likely be switching back momentarily.
Alrighty, so here we go. 9 seconds and Gibraltar will be underway. This is our winner semifinals. It is RIPZAP versus other team. Other team looking to stay alive here on Watch Point Gibraltar.
Careful out there. Greetings.
Okay. Note that we're gonna have Widow fights immediately here in this game. Drunk versus Manitin coming your way yet again.
Yeah, I mean,
I will note that thus far Manitin has definitely been getting the better of those fights. Drunk has had his moments, but Widow advantage definitely in favor of RIPZAP here thus far.
so back and forth, each team has lost 2 early on.
Manitin might be going down here. Harris been able to get into the back as Winston. The offense really back and forth on both sides here if you look at it. Both got their licks in. Payload still moving forward, though. You know, for defense on Gibraltar, it's not the biggest deal. Usually that first checkpoint is given up for free no matter what.
Yeah, now they're going to hold server room, which is generally a strat you see too. The Winston's getting kind of impatient. Don't love this jump from hypothermia, what he's really getting done here, but he does get a nice tickle in, and Mercy heals him up, so I guess I was wrong. Took so much damage, though. He was so close to dying.
Yeah, Mercy was able to get in there, came out. Meanwhile, look at Zapray. Zapray going left, does have a Deadeye up. Looking to be aggressive here. Misses the flashbang, though. Has to back off. But that's good game sense to back off after missing that flashbang. You don't want to go in after that point. You know, why bother? And he's going to sit there. He's going to punish the Winston. Get the double kill, and good looks here from Zapray as he makes it a triple. Left click, doing all sorts of work. Resurrection looking up for the offense won't be enough. Fallen Heroes back in the fray. Winston back up. McCree back up, but McCree going back down. Winston Primal Rage in the back. A little bit disorganized in the offense here, but still might work out. The Winston in the back picks up the double kill. A little bit of extra help, and the double Winston sort of sealing the deal as off that Mercy res. Didn't look good in the beginning, but worked out in the end.
You called disorganized on the offense. I thought it was disorganized on the defense. Yep. They did not get their teleporter up. It's rare you run a Symmetra on this map, but they had it. It was 100% charge and good value. They had Resurrection up. Didn't get that one up. Missed out on 2 huge chances, and now they're giving up so much ground in the shuttle.
Now take a look at this. Relay moving in, able to get the kill on the Rifles. The offense now with a bit of a renewed vigor after that fight right before the hangar. Drunk's even able to get a pick off there as well. So it's 3 quick kills here for the offense. And RIPZAP definitely a bit of trouble. You don't want to be giving up the hangar phase this easily.
Heroes never die.
No, not good. I mean, it's just momentum, and that's always been the case with this hangar, right? If you can get the offense in early and you can start shutting down these really far back doors, which is why you see a lot of double Winston now on this map especially. They're able to shut down just kind of reinforcement points that you're going to have a good time in this hangar. Now you've got Drunk on top of the shuttle. He's going to throw Widow Mines. He's going to be getting free snipes off. No
he's
counter
looking here at that right door. If he gets a big pick, it would be huge. I think a lot of the defense is coming in through the left. We do have a Deadeye coming out here from the defensive end. Zapray looking for it, is able to take out Rella. 2 kills for the defense, 2 kills for the offense. And look at this, Primal Rage again, doing work, knocking Zapray away. Really not letting him do anything that he wants to do right now as McCree. Has to run for his life, but he will take him out after getting pushed way off the point. Meanwhile, Manitin, now on the McCree, no longer on Widow, picks up a double kill in the back. So double McCree rearing its head again and being awfully effective.
Yeah, he gets some nice kills there. Drunks is still just going to be able to snipe pretty much uncontested They don't have a good answer to them at all. Maybe the Reaper, maybe the McCree, but that's it, and that's pushing it.
I have found the enemy. Come and face me.
Alrighty, so here we go. The defense now fighting the offense yet again. We do have the Deadeye coming from Manitin. Will take out the Lucio. Defensive Sound Bearer is out. The defense in a very good position here. Up a kill, up HP. We'll see if it's enough, but the Resurrection coming in for the offense. This could turn the tides. Offensive Sound Bearer is out. The offense now giving it to the defense. We have Drunks over the top looking for the pickoff. Is able to take out Zapri. Looking for more. Looking for the Lucio. Not able to get just yet. Missing shot after shot. Can he get the Lucio? He will finally take him down. And the offense off the Sound Barrier and Resurrection able to turn it in their favor.
Yeah,
Where's this? Death Blossom coming at the end. Will that be enough to save? Rifle's got a double kill, and it's a .32 away. The defense might not be done with this point yet.
Well, the reason they were able to win that fight for the most part was because Drunk killed the opposing Mercy. So they knew they could use their Resurrection absolutely without any cost or any risk to them. Sound Barrier 2 give them a huge advantage. But now, Cart's moving back. .32. Can't believe it.
Airspan gang taken out there was a little bit over aggro, and now RIPZAP with their new life. They were pretty close to giving this up, and the payload now making valuable distance backwards. Zapri gonna take out Moo, and the offense now a little bit discombobulated.
Yeah, I mean, they did get a pick early on, but then losing Moo really hurts them. They're going to have him back in the fight, and I think that's what they're waiting for. They're going to have him back in. I think double Winstons are going to come over the top on the shuttle. Drunks looks for a pick early on, misses it, but they're going to establish high ground here shortly.
High ground is established. They do have Deadeye at the ready. Zapri has to be careful not to get sniped when going for the Deadeye. The real play here would be as if they take out Drunks in the back, and then Zapri comes in for the Deadeye. We'll see if that's enough. Offensive Deadeye, though, is a thing right now. Zapri Deadeye mostly wasted. Is able to go down, though, and take out Relay, if nothing else. So still 2 quick kills here for the defense. Resurrection is going to come from Moo, though, so the offense has an opportunity to turn this in their favor as Rella explodes off the Resurrection, gets the double kill.
Here's the counter,
though. Resurrection of his own, gonna bring up those fallen heroes. Mercy Res absolutely integral to this fight. Both teams fighting on top of the point, still reasonable on it, but the offense now starting to turn it in their favor. Rella gets another kill with a little bit of help. We do see Manitin with the Dragon Blade going into the back, hitting on Lucio. Not going to be enough, and this should be the offensive checkpoint.
Yeah, they're going to clean this up. Harspin has had a huge game on Winston. I mean, that is a ton of Winston kills, and he's been disruptive and brutal. Not sure what that McCree was there at the end. That was a lot of hope and not a lot of prospects.
Well, look at the defense, big moments coming up for them potentially. We do have Rifles with a Death Blossom on command. He's going to look for good positioning to drop that in a moment, but it's going to be hard to do that as the defense now is bleeding kills. Another 2 kills just being fed, the offense being relatively aggressive. Rifles might be going for the YOLO ult here, but that's a little bit dangerous. You want a little bit more of an distraction usually. He's going to drop this, and he just gets taken out. He needed not to try to be a hero there.
They've got every single ult on offense. If they don't get this point, I will be stunned. Mostly because if they get any sort of progress, they got double Primal Rage to lock down both doors.
Rella coming out the Deadeye. Fires off a little bit quicker. I think you could have held it a bit longer. Offense though still going to go in. Winston's going absolutely ape in the back. Rella with the flashbang over the top. Going to help take out this Reinhardt. And the offense now definitely sang the tone, but don't count out the defense just yet. Manitin in the back. Going to take out Boo. Boo, of course, just getting that Resurrection off. We'll see if it pays off. Defense still in a decent shape here. We have Manitin flanking around the backside. But look at Drunks. Drunks on the triple kill in the back. Going to have to deal with the defensive res here, but not bad snipes coming out. Is able to take out Zapre again. And they don't have an answer for this Widow right now.
And they haven't run a character with just an answer to the Widow in about 4 minutes, and it's really hurt them. And granted, Drunks has not even had a great game. He had won like 3 or 4K, but when you're sniping absolutely unopposed and without any threat, you don't even have to hit shots. You can body shot, you can triple shot someone, it doesn't work. It's not like he was going absolutely insane and headshotting, but he did enough and totally cleaned up that team.
It's time.
There we go. Play the game from Rella. This is right at the end. A lot of cleanup on the defenders, and not a bad time coming out from other team. This game might, or this series might be going to 3.
Yeah, that is, it's a pretty good time, actually. You know, I always think of Gibraltar, and I could be wrong in this. You watch as much as I do, but my feeling is Gibraltar 8. 8 is like exactly middle time, so it's a little quick. Not super quick, but like 7's good. It's fine.
No, it's good. It's not bad. A distinct middle-of-the-road time.
Yeah, between 7 and 8 is generally what you expect as good in decent times. 9 slow, 5 and 6 are fast. Those are our scientific measurements on Gibraltar speeds.
Gibraltar, of course, one of the longer maps in the game, a little bit bigger than what you see on some payload maps, especially compared to, say, Route 66, which is one of the smaller maps in the game, but Gibraltar in the game since the beginning, one of the more iconic maps in Overwatch. And looking here at the defense for the side of other team as they sit up here, it looks like they're not going to be changing too much here. Drunks, again, going to be repping the Widowmaker, Moo on Mercy, Stoilish on Lucio, Rella on McCree, Hairspin on Winston, and I'd expect to see Happy Thuria come in as either a second Winston or a Reinhardt, and Reinhardt is what it will be.
This is my jam.
Yeah, offensively, they're definitely going to run their own double Winston as well. That's Rifles and Relay. Maniten will be on the Widowmaker this time. Aaron will be on the Mercy, Zapre on Genji, and Tenia on Lucio. So it's really, really going to be up to Zapre and Maniten to do a lot of work. But maybe they'll be supplemented by Winston's doing a ton of damage. We'll see, but the flankers and the Widow have to get something done here. Very light on damage.
Yeah, damage-wise, it'll be interesting to see how this works out.
Maybe I'm just biased
Tend to agree.
because I've been watching like so much Cloud9 lately, but like now everyone just looks light on damage because Cloud9 runs single support and as much damage as they can humanly put on a team.
Well, I think the reason why C9 gets away with the doubles or the single support is that Mercy Res is so incredibly powerful that you don't need to be healing everyone up if you just go, okay, it's okay if 4 people die, we're just gonna res you back up immediately. It's sort of abusing the fact that Mercy Res is really, really strong.
Well, they get away with it because their single support is Adam.
Yeah, and Adam, of course, is
Probably the
quite
best Mercy
player.
in the game right now. Actually, I think it's pretty easy. If you could make a case right now, it would be hard to argue that he's not right now, is what I'd say.
All right, so looking here, the defense is on the top here, not going too far out. A smart move here for this point, but the Winston's diving right in. RIPZAP not wasting any time. Drunks, though, able to take out one of those Winstons. So Winstons did not quite get the support they were looking for in the beginning. 2 quick kills here for the defense. They're going to be able to push this back, and now look at this. They can be aggressive. They can move this back. Maniten not having any luck so far as Rella explodes for a double kill. And the defense of other team not doing too shabby here in the beginning.
Rella and Relay getting a little confusing, but definitely Rella like Umbrella. Ella.
No one can hide.
Wall hacks
Maniten
up.
now still looking for pickoffs. Does have a recon sight up. Will be trying to headshot this Winston, but Winston shield, of course, going to be a problem. And this is interesting to see a defense contest this early part as heavily as they're doing. A lot of times defense will sort of give it up, but you know, they are buying some valuable time.
Really nice.
Here's the
early
danger. The offense now with 2 kills, make it 3 kills. If they can deal with this resurrection, they're going to have great momentum going to the next checkpoint. Here comes Zapre with the Genji ult. Dragon Blade slicing and dicing, takes out Mercy, looking for the Widow, gets the double kill, looking for the Lucio to make it a triple, will get taken out in the end. And even though Genji was doing all that work, the defense still holding on pretty well in the bottom. So
Yeah.
RIPZAP with a bit of an issue here.
There were some nice early kills after the resurrection came off that they got a really quick advantage. Even though Zap was able to take out Drunks before that res, Drunks came back, took out the opposing Mercy, so they just won the fight, you know, a little bit each time, and get that resurrection really helped them hold this top point. This is a stronger hold than you generally see on Gibraltar.
No, especially before the first point. I mean, teams give that up all the time. Maniten right now being really, really aggro at this Widow position, looking for a pickoff, not able to get it just yet, has to back off. As meanwhile, on the ground, Happy Thermia with the double kill. Rella on top, and this is rough. The offense is really getting bullied around here on the bottom.
Yeah, they're fighting under the arch. You never really want to fight under the arch. Doesn't feel good. You need to take that high ground, and eventually the arch will take care of itself. But they're just getting absolutely beat in these fights.
And they still...
Go ahead.
They still haven't even capped the first point yet. This is actually pretty ridiculous for a Gibraltar hold.
I mean, beyond that, there's 5 minutes total left. It's a long map, as you mentioned, and 5 minutes is it's already cutting it close.
Yeah, no, time-wise, I think other teams put themselves in a great position to win this game. We'll see if they can hold it out for just a bit longer. Drunks right now looking for the pickoff, knows where everyone is because of the recon side, and takes out Zapre, and that is going to cut this offensive push-off at the knees. On the offense, I don't think it's going to work out. Is Drunk super aggro on this defensive Widowmaker, and it's working.
Yeah, he's had a much better game than he did last time, actually. There was a moment where it was just, like you mentioned, just wasn't hitting everything, but pretty nice run there. 4 minutes.
And they do get like pick him up, but he's missing so many people on the offense. I don't think it's gonna work out. Is Drunk super aggro on this defensive Widowmaker, and it's working.
Yeah, he's had a much better game than he did last time, actually. There was a moment where it was just, like you mentioned, just wasn't hitting everything, but pretty nice run there. 4 minutes.
And they do get to that next checkpoint, but nothing changes on the spawn points when you're on the checkpoint. All you do is get a bit of extra time, which of course is needed for how slowly the offense is going forward right now, but honestly, this is pretty good here for other teams.
Well, the time that's left on this payload clock is about as much time as they have to finish the map. Pretty close.
Yeah, they have about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, and getting this far in Gibraltar in 3 minutes and 40 seconds, it's possible, but really, RIPZAP would have to turn into a different team right now because they have been getting bullied. They haven't been running in as well as they need to. And other teams have just been having their way. We do have Dragon Blade, though, in the back. Zapri looking to slice and dice. Doesn't have anything just yet. Actually gets looped away. This is kind of a problem. Gets very little off that Dragon Blade. Is, though, going to be a go-in. Gets the Widow pick, if nothing else. Resurrection, though, going to bring those defenders right back up. Widow back in the fray, and Melee Zapri down.
Revenge.
Mercy play of other team has been very much on point. Very good reses coming up both this round and last round.
Yeah, here comes
speaking of resurrections, the offense wants to come back and play. Drunk having to run for his life, but look at Rella. Rella with the double kill immediately after that resurrection. And it still might be not a good look here for the offense. A little bit of chaos on the cart, but the defense going to hold in here. Down goes Manitin again. Moo with the defensive res, and really good hold here from other team. They have to hold for a little bit longer. And in fact, mathematically, they're getting very close to a win off time alone.
Yeah, just about 2:20 left on that map clock. I mean, what do you think they need to do? I don't even know if it's a compositional thing. I don't think it is. I think, again, it's as simple as
I think
they're
they
just
need to kill the Mercy
fights.
earlier. Moo's been getting a lot of really value reses off in every fight, and they just sort of need to win their mechanical fights a little bit more. Manitin's had a very, very quiet game overall. Zapri, though, coming in, able to get something done, takes out Rella. Rella, of course, has been a huge issue. Earth Shadow comes down from the defense. Happy Thermia going in, gets the crunch. And again, take a look here at the defense. Moo has the resurrection up, could drop it at a moment's notice, even if the defenders do get taken.
Yeah, a little bit unneeded. No, I think it's an excellent point. Now, you're absolutely right. They prioritized Drunk so much when they were running the Genji that he was the first target, and they probably should have been prioritizing Moo.
And the defense here holding strong. Rella has also been a big threat. I mean, right now, in terms of defensive contribution, I would target him over Drunks for sure, as he's been having his way with the offense this entire time. Rella and Moo need to die, but right now I think it's just way too late. Only a minute 25 left. I'm not even sure you can complete Gibraltar in a minute 25 from this position.
No, not unless you're going to put boosters on that cart, which is impossible to do. So, yeah, I think we're going to game 3.
Yeah, game 3 seems very likely. Deadeye here coming up from Rella. Not able to fire it off just yet. Might end up holding it. The high noon, just kidding, as people like calling the comp scene right now. But again, lots of good damage being put in from the Fan the Hammer after the flashbang. Offense getting a little bit of value here, but again, look at Moo. Moo is still alive, going to bring up 2 of those fallen heroes. Hairspin in the back. And now let's take a look at Aaron. Is Aaron going to get a similar resurrection off? He's nowhere near. He died early in that fight. So the Mercy play, I think, is really where you're seeing the biggest difference between these two teams right now.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree that is a good call, and I thought the Genji play was actually working out pretty well early on. He was getting the picks that he was looking for. He was getting the targets. I think he was just picking the wrong targets.
Very likely. 3 seconds remaining here on the in-game clock, but the overall stopwatch is where it's already GG, and it doesn't even matter because it's GG on all sorts of levels. A full hold before the hanger. Really well played by other team, and we are going to a map number 3.
Yeah, I think we're going to Kings. Why not? Yeah, and good for Moo. Deserves it. Doesn't matter which one it was, but he stayed alive most of the game, kept his team alive, healed, and damage boosted, and then got huge reses.
Heroes never die.
Yeah, like right there, just got in, got the immediate 3 res.
Yeah, that was really early, too.
Because it's not like RIPZAP wasn't getting kills.
Right. That's a lot of blue cards. Yeah, I guess the
Definitely a good run for the defense.
9 players rezzed, 41% of the deaths. So what? That's, I mean, they only had 20 deaths, 22 deaths the whole game. I'm not good at math. That's close.
Alrighty. So we are going to be getting into the next map here. I believe, what is that next map? Forgetting all my stuff today. that map is going to be King's Row. So unlike starting with King's Row, we are going right into King's Row as the final map.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of sniper play on both sides. I imagine that will continue early on, although Kings isn't necessarily, you don't have to run a sniper on either side. It's actually, early on, I think, it's kind of one of the cuter maps for sniper, right? There's a lot of little cute plays, like kind of grapple hooks, or maybe the Widow won't even be trying to get picks early on in defense, wait for the Winstons, and then start shooting away. Or just like really rush in your offensive Widow and try to shut down a whole side of the map by taking away those sight lines, forcing them into a corner, then bum rushing the house and killing them. But it's not really standard, let's just get the sniper battle going. Sometimes only one side will run it, so we'll see what goes on with Widow on Kings, but hopefully we'll see some Junkrat too. I love Junkrat on Kings, and I don't know if we've seen him as much as we should have lately.
Yeah, Junkrat, of course, you think Junkrat Kings, you think back in the day where IDDQD would run Junkrat on Kings and Tavik would just go absolutely crazy. But we've seen Tailspin with sort of IDDQD Reborn and the new Envious fill the same role. And I do like how Envious approaches that map with Junkrat.
Yeah, I think he's great on that map. We've seen him play just phenomenally. You know, it's interesting because I think you can get into a mode where you're countering counters which counter counters. So you run a Junkrat, then the other team runs a Pharah to try to deal with it, and do you have a Widow who can then deal with the Pharah? So it becomes this kind of ecosystem and this food chain, if you will, and it starts with the Junkrat because you have to counter the Junkrat on King's defense. You can't just let him set up for whatever, just be throwing mines, dropping bombs, and crushing your shields. So you have to run a Pharah, and then can the other team counter your Pharah? I mean, it's really just kind of that balance and that counter picking that makes Overwatch beautiful, and I think you see it a lot on King's Row.
Yeah, and it's interesting to point out, we're talking about Junkrat, of course, so the Pharah play, where Pharah pretty well suited the deal with Junkrat. It's sort of one of those things where they got to run double McCree instead of the Junkrat, but if they are running the Junkrat, Pharah can actually rush him down better than other heroes, although we've certainly seen Junkrat defend against it. It's sort of one of the cooler one-on-one matchups we haven't seen as often as of late.
Yeah, I've been killed by Junkrats who mind jump up to me and then chuck me with grenades, and all I can do is just, well played. I mean, just well played, sir. I mean, I should be your hard counter as a Pharah. You just made an amazing play, ruined my day, and GG. A legitimate, honest, sincere GG.
So one of the players abandoned us real quick for a smoke break, so that's why there's a little bit of a delay between this and the last. I don't know about you guys, but I always cringe a little bit when someone says smoke break, because sometimes it can be quick, but like everyone's definition of a smoke break really varies. I mean, you have some people who's like, all right, just do a quick smoke break. That's like 15 minutes later, it's like, all right, I'm back. It's just like, did you just down 3 cigarettes? Like, what are you doing? Oh, man. So hopefully this gets started from map 3 a little bit quicker here, and it is, in fact, a quick break.
Yeah, we've done everything we can to expedite the process, but, you know, at the core of esports are the players of esports, and we have to give concessions to them momentarily. After this, we will be running into the other side of the bracket, and I think we probably have, I'm trying to count. We'll finish out this set, then we'll have another set. I think we have 3 to 4 more sets for you today. So thank you for tuning in. This is the GosuGamers Open Overwatch Cup. We've had 64 teams who you may not have heard of as beta just... Well, beta is no longer a thing. As Overwatch just
Beta is no longer a thing. We are out of the age of only watch.
As Overwatch just released, we've given some teams a chance to get into our GosuGamers system. If you follow us at all, we did a ton of weeklies. We had a lot of fun running the early competitive scene in Overwatch, so now we're trying to get more people into it. A lot of the super top teams are busy at other events this weekend, so we said, hey, let's not just not do anything. Let's open it up. Let's get a bunch of new blood in here, and we've had some cool sets so far. Oh, and I would be remiss as well if I didn't mention that also Overwatch Kings is giving us their support too. They make cool content. If you're looking to get into Overwatch and kind of just break into what do the pros think, what do the people who've been really involved in competitive Overwatch think about the game, check out their content because that's what you'll learn there.
All right, so we should be good to go here in a moment. Just waiting for players of both teams to get back. Still the one player on the BRB smoke break, as it turns out. So we are at that mercy. No pun intended.
That's fine. You know, I did mention earlier that I do hang out in chat, which is generally a bad idea, but I do it anyway. It's against my health. But I said, just throw me your questions. Make sure to add them at me, and I'll look at them, and we'll talk about it. And so I do have a question from chat. It says, what are your thoughts on the best champion in the game, and why is it Zarya? What an intelligent question that is.
Yeah, Hex is very biased versus Zarya. That is, Ato Zarya is a good play. Hex will be all over it. Zarya is Hex's
Hey,
wife.
conversely, when someone screws up on Zarya, I am super disappointed. We had the lamest day of Graviton surges for one of the tournaments not too long ago, and it made me very upset. Why I think Zarya is one of the best heroes, very briefly before we went to this game, she supports, she tanks, and she does damage. She does absolutely everything. There's no time. She's the Swiss Army knife of Overwatch, and it's super fun to play. But that said, we're in map. This is our game 3. The winner of this goes on to the winner's bracket grand finals, close to really just winning out this tournament. They will be facing the winner of 425 versus... I'll tab. Oh, 425 versus someone else. I can't remember right now. We'll bring you that next.
425, I believe they're up against, not Ghost, they just beat Ghost. So, it'd be, take a look here. 425 versus ROP.
Okay, that was a team that we casted earlier as well.
We casted earlier,
yeah.
Robust Plot.
Yeah, Robust Plot has made their way back. That said,
Classics like Hasselhoff.
the defense looks like they're going to be running a Symmetra. Should be interesting. Aaron will be on the Lucio. Symmetra will be played by Tanea. They're going to run double McCree because why not? McCree's very good. That'll be Zapre and Rifles. Manitin is going to run the Widow and Relay on the tank. So a solo tank, yeah, they do switch off the Lucio and are onto a Mercy instead. So they are running solo support here. I guess you can call Symmetra kind of support. She's not. Solo support, solo tank, utility, and then a lot of DPS. We'll see if it works out for the defense.
Meanwhile, taking a look here at the offense coming out from the side of other team. Gonna be Rella on the McCree, Harspin on the Winston, FNC Drunk on the Widowmaker, Stoilish on Lucio, Moo on Mercy, and Happy Thermia on the Reinhardt.
Right.
So no Pharah gang played here in the beginning Kings Row, and no Junkrats. A little bit of sad times there, but we do have the Widow duel on the way again. FNC Drunk versus Manitin right now. And it started out in favor of Manitin, but FNC Drunk coming in a little bit better as the match has progressed. Stoilish with first kill of the game as Harspin gets in the back, gets a double kill as Winston. And Winston doing some work, but the defense striking right back as Relay laying down the hammer literally as Reinhardt.
Yeah, looked pretty decent for the offense at first, just unable to continue those kills. Manitin now unopposed gets a couple more.
It's still not bad for the offense. I mean, they respawn quicker here.
Right.
No teleporter is up. The
ready,
offense
though.
really has a chance to keep this going, but Manitin absolutely outplaying Harspin there, able to take him out. That was a huge pickoff. He's able to heal as a result. Might be able to get the Mercy from this as well. And this is where if Winston was able to take out Manitin there, it would have been a much bigger deal. He takes out FNC Drunk, and Manitin viciously punishing the side of other team for him living.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know who took the break, but Manitin must have grabbed a cup of coffee or something. Really sprung to life there with a nice chain of headshots. That teleporter does come down now. Right room is completely locked down. Offense needs to figure out how they're going to even initiate on this.
And the offense now, I mean, they're going to have to deal with the Symmetra teleporter. It will be a bit of an issue. Rifles coming in here with the stun. Almost takes out Winston. Will take him out in the end. Red shot comes down from the defense. And the defense just absolutely smothering this push coming out from the side of other teams.
Just crushed.
Oh, no, by the way, for those who are tuning in, this is the winner semifinal, so the team that loses here will still have a chance of bringing this back in our losers bracket.
Yeah, right now, just Manitin's been absolutely unopposed. You have to start finding an answer for this. Is Harspin enough just on this single Winston to do it? Maybe you just started a big team fight. He's on the ground now and vulnerable. Get in there. There comes the Winston.
Yep, the offense now rushing in on top of the point, trying to make things happen, but the Reinhardt goes down right away. Still, though, the offense getting some good pickoffs. They're going to need to do a little bit more than that, though, because you do have to deal with that teleporter in the back. The teleporter is going to break or deal with the sort of not decisive picks and not do a whole lot for the offense, but offense still moving forward. FNC Drunk's getting into the building here, looking for a little bit of sneakiness on his Widow. He does take out Manitin, a beautiful pick. That was awesome, using Recon Sight to his best advantage here. To get another pick or two, this could be huge here for the offense of other team.
Happy is doing his best to try to carry this. He's been just waiting patiently. He charged his Earthshatter, took out his opposing Reinhardt.
The Town Bear is out here for the offense. The offense is going to be way more aggressive getting on top of the point. And we'll see if they do this or not. Moo's able to back away. Moo is close to dying. 3 kills here for the offense. And now, even if they do get a few kills here, I think Moo, not going to have a resurrection up now, but probably pretty soon. Offense still with a lot of momentum here.
Happy Thermia just put the team on his Reinhardt back. Not only did he stay alive, stall everything out, he was patient, hit a Fire Strike late to crush someone with an Earth Shatter, then was able to segment off the opposing team's Mercy, chunk her down as well. Eventually, he gave up the Ghost when he charged in, but that created space. Some really nice Reinhardt play.
Yep, the offense now with an opportunity moving forward, trying to get control of the Streets phase. See this pretty often. They still have to leave a few people back in the payload to keep it moving. But FNC Drunks being very, very aggro. I think he's the most forward person on his team. This could very easily backfire. I totally get being aggressive on Widowmaker, but sometimes it's bad. I'm not sure what he's looking at here.
I'm not sure he didn't disconnect.
No, he's not disconnected. Okay, now he's moving forward, but he just ran into their time. It's like, Widowmaker out. You don't want to run into that. He will survive with his life. Very, very risky.
No one can hide.
Here comes Sight, gonna come up. See if he can get these early picks. Meanwhile, looking at defense, both McCree's about to have Deadeye up. I believe the time will be high noon. Here comes Rifles, but a gigantic Earthshare coming down from Happy, going to knock down two people on the defense, stops the Deadeye in its tracks. Not a bad look here. Both teams 4v4 as they move forward. In fact, offense with an advantage because Blue was able to get a resurrection off in the middle of that. And again, what we're seeing here is that the Mercy play of other team is really carrying them more so than anything else at the moment. They're just getting way more value on these res trades.
Yeah, absolutely roll on there too. Drunks wakes up a little bit, gets a couple kills of his own. I'm still just been super impressed with Happy. I mean, the Earth Shatter there was great too. We got another couple kills.
Maniton right now looking for some pickoffs on the back. Maniton, of course, started out the series with a bang. Had the first fight in this game pretty well as well, but has sort of been a little bit quiet other than that. Offense right now getting good position, gang over the top. Let's see if Maniton can get pick off Drunk here. Thus far, nothing yet. Defensive Sound Barrier is out. Earthshare comes out from defense. Will result in Rella dying, if nothing else. But again, look at Moo here. Moo has the Resurrection up. We'll be able to drop it. Resurrection coming up for the offense. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Aaron. As far as Mercy play goes here, only using his res on one, not getting quite as much value. The offense swarming in. And they only need a few more kills here to really take this in their favor.
They're looking good right now. Happy swinging away on the cart, gets another kill. Rella gets another kill. Huge Earth Shatter from Happy, takes down 3.
The Earth Shatter is absolutely tremendous. Happy gets a triple kill off it. And now the offensive other team so close to capping this out. They're going to be saying a pretty darn good time here on King's Road to boot.
That's Happy's game, man. Like, everyone on that team played well. Moo is with the Resurrection, though, but when they needed clutch fights, when they needed someone alive on the point or to kill the opposing Mercy, it was Happy, and he did everything. He did everything there you could ask for a Reinhardt.
Now, this is one of the few times where Maniton did go off this game. We know he has his potential. Got a whole bunch of kills here in the back, and this is because Winston very barely missed finishing him off, and this is part of why the defense is able to buy as much time at the beginning as they did. But still, 5:32, a pretty darn fast time here on King's Row.
Very solid time. The best pro teams generally average, when they're really running on all cylinders, 4-5 minutes. Even when IDD QD is playing their greatest, it's usually about 4.5 or 5 minutes. IDD, like they're a team anymore. One former IDD QD was playing their greatest is about 4.5, 5 minutes. So that's an astonishingly quick time. So any sort of, defense coming out is going to bode well for other team moving on.
Alrighty. So we are going to be moving into the second round here. Other team really putting themselves in great position here. And again, I can't say it enough. You look at the Mercy play between Moo and Aaron right now, and Moo has really been coming out on top. I think what's been happening is that Aaron has been dying early in fights, and then when fights he's lived in, he hasn't gotten quite the amount of Mercy res value. And that's been a huge, huge difference between the two teams as they continue to fight it out here.
Yeah, I will say this. It looks like Team RIPZAP has been definitely watching the competitive scene. They're running a lot of compositions that mirror exactly what Cloud9 has been doing, or at least trying to do.
They're even speed boosting out the Symmetra.
Yeah, well, no, that's defense. I was talking about the offense, though, in this particular situation, but I wonder, it's good to watch the top teams and their compositions and what they're doing, but at some point you have to find a style for your own team. And yes, following the meta is important, but not all the teams at the top do the exact same thing, and they all have different success in different ways. So just a word of warning to people trying to build their own teams. Copying a team is not exactly the way you go. Play to your strengths, look at the meta, kind of develop your own strength and style. But as you mentioned on that defense, they did boost out that Symmetra.
All right, looking at the defense for us, we're going to have Stoilish on the Lucia, Rella on the McCree, Happy Thermia on the Reinhardt, Hairspin on the defensive Zarya, FNC Drunk on the Widowmaker, and we want a Symmetra, and there's no Mercy here, which I almost wonder. I feel like they should have a Mercy here just because they've gotten so much value off that move here thus far.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. It seems like an early mistake. Offensively, though, Zapre and Rai will be playing Soldier 76s. They'll add a Lucio and Tenia. Manate will be playing the Widow again. Aaron on Mercy and Relay on McCree.
And looking at FNC Drunk here in the back as Widowmaker, looking for some pickoffs. You have to go a little bit further up, taking the high ground. Both teams still at full strength. Drunk has an opportunity for pickoffs here, but he is under assault. Does decide to back off rather than going for the point-blank shot. And the offense now getting good positioning over the top as Rifles gets first kill of the game. Down goes Happy Thermia, and unlike other rounds we've seen so far, no Mercy Res is coming through that door for the defense.
Yeah, I think like Happy missed the memo that the soldiers are coming in. Everyone else is running and getting in defensive positions, scattering. They just did not deal with that soldier attack in any sort of viable way. Happy paid his life for it. Drunk does get a kill towards the end, but they've lost all sort of positioning. This Sim's gonna suicide. She has to. Nice job.
Yep, Symmetra did suicide in. She does still have the teleporter up. She's going to be able to put that back, and the defense got back in part aided off the play of Drunk there. It looked like the offense was going to get for free, but maybe they pushed a little bit too far in. We did see the offense really chasing in heavily, and that might have been a mistake.
I liked the strategy. The positioning was really nice. They got both soldiers up above. They were able to kind of harass and get some early kills, but the rest of the team didn't necessarily follow up and take the positioning on the point they should have to capitalize on the scattered nature of the defense.
We're gonna have a Widow duel here. Manatin versus Drunks right up and top. Zarya shield coming in. That's not regulation, but Manatin even going to win that even with the Zarya shield on Drunks. So good play by Manatin, and now he's sort of free of the distract from the top as his team comes in through the front.
Yeah, he doesn't even really have to get any kills here. He's just, his presence is alone to really push them back in a rough spot.
There is a teleporter up in the back here. I think he knows where it is. In fact, he's running to the back, and you know, this first for everything, Widow going to take out the teleporter here in all likelihood. And note he's saying on the other Widow, takes the other Widow first, not a bad idea. Teleporter going to go down. And this should be a successful offense here coming from the side of RIPZAP. Definitely looking better in this game, and the Mercy Res comes in, gonna keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
Moo now switching the Mercy, and honestly, I think the way that went, I think they would have had a better defense if he was on Mercy to begin with.
There's no doubt about it. I think they wanted to run a sim just because it's kind of standard. Yet again, like I think people are running things maybe in this tournament especially that maybe it's not their strength. And then when they realize that they're not playing their best just because they're trying to play to a certain kind of composition, and then they switch to the heroes they're best at and they have more success.
That's where we go. The defense of other team moving up. They have to defend for another 3 minutes here if they want to take King's Row. They did set a pretty quick time, so time is not necessarily on RIPZAP's side. And this next team fight could be absolutely crucial to the fate of this game. Deadeye coming up from Rala gets absolutely nothing. We do have a attack visor coming out here from the offense, but Rala not even caring, goes in, is able to take out Rifles. No Resurrection is up here thus far by Aaron. A big Earth Shatter coming in. The defense is going to get knocked around a bit as the offense moves forward. Moo is one of the casualties, so there will be no resurrection here, and that's exactly what the offense needed.
Yeah, Drunk's gonna try to do something. He's probably just gonna die, though. That's right. There he goes. Well, about 3 minutes left to finish this map. 3 minutes to figure out who's going on to our winners bracket final.
And thus far, things looking pretty good now for the side of RIPZAP. You look at the time, they have 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. That gives them time for about 2 full pushes as they move forward here. Lots of time to work with. They do have the resurrection up. Moo is going to have resurrection up. And again, I want to bring people's attention to look at the resurrections going on this next fight. Look at which team gets more value. We're going to direct the camera on it a little bit more aggressively as well, because I think that's really been the deciding point of the teams. Here we go. The fight is underway. Reinhardt charging in for the defense. Happy going in super aggressively. Hairspin, though, gets punished for it as Manatin now getting some good pickoffs. 3 people are down, but let's take a look here at the Mercy play. Will Aaron be able to get the res off? There's the resurrection. Gonna bring up all those fallen heroes. And look at Moo. Oh, that was the resurrection for the offense.
Yeah, and they just got Earth
I hit
Shatter.
the wrong. I was like, wait a second. That makes no sense whatsoever.
They got Earth Shatter.
But the offense hang on there. This is a case where things going pretty well for the offense, and we'll see how things go.
Drunk also switched off of the Widow, so that means Manatin is sniping completely unopposed. He switched onto a Roadhog for some reason.
Big snipes coming up from Manatin in the back. See here if it's up, takes out Rella. 2 kills for Garrett. Now the defense under a huge bit of assault. Another team which was looking like they were guaranteed the win is going to fall here from a big offensive push from the side of RIPZAP. So RIPZAP moves on to the winners bracket finals.
Really back and forth series there, map after map, just kind of, you know, super back and forth. As you mentioned, it was all about the Mercy play there, and the Mercy play defying that series. Nice Soldier 76 aim here at the end. I like some of the tank play too, but I'd actually be almost a little bit surprised. I don't even know who they're playing, but just based on what I saw out of them, I'd be a little surprised if other team doesn't make it back towards us.
Yeah, I will say this too. I think if we'll see who wins in the 425 sub, but 425 moves on to winners bracket finals. I would favor 425 over RIPZAP, given what we saw. I think RIPZAP or 425 has a little bit more on-point play overall, but we'll see how things go. But speaking of 425, that is going to be the next series that we are rolling into here in the winners bracket semifinals.
I already sent him a message. We're going right into that lobby.
Excellent.